Hey, Lachlan, it's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
Fantastic to be here. I'm excited. Let's go.
Beautiful. I love that. And you see, I'm so excited to have you on the show today. And oftentimes, Lachlan, I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, I want to say, Lachlan, thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you invested in yourself, Lachlan. And oftentimes, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, Lachlan, some months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Lachlan, just recently, I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree, you see. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me. Because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches. It was such a special, beautiful moment for me that day. I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Lachlan that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you see you got the request from me to be on the show because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing. Your insights, your work, the impact your solution is having, your philosophies, they're amazing. And I said to myself just before I sent you the text that I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Lachlan is doing, not only me now, but even the audience. And here we had a day with the amazing Lachlan. So I've got to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. And secondly, thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thank you so much, my man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good, good to be here. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So let's get started. See, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today for two reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you see, Lachlan, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Lachlan on the show is for the sake of the audience. They say, Lachlan, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, luckily, my man, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or professional journey, because right now we are so
Yeah, no
curious.
context, that might be a little
We want to know
confusing.
how
So I don't
Lachlan
know if you
got
recall.
here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Lachlan, my man, over to you.
Yeah, sorry, it cut out for a second. Was it just, sorry, asking for a little bit of background?
Okay, yeah, I said let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or professional journey.
Awesome.
Got it?
Yeah, great to be here. And everyone listening, hope you're having a great evening or day wherever you are. So yeah, I have a very interesting story. I essentially, after university, found myself in an office job as an insurance broker. And just one of those jobs where you're going there every day, you arrive in the dark, you leave in the dark. I was in Canada. Drinking on the weekends, looking forward to vacation, knowing I can do something else, but not really knowing what I want to do. And I ended up finally, after 3 years, quitting to do my master's in Spain. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I just did my master's in data to at least give myself time to figure it out. I took out a big student loan. I used all my savings for this, and I ended up getting a job in crypto after I discovered crypto during my master's. I did a course on it, and I actually understood how blockchain works and thought this was going to be big. So I found myself in another job doing sales in crypto after the master's. Once again, disliking having a boss. Once again, wishing for my vacation. And after 5 months, I quit my job yet again, and I moved down to Medellin, Colombia, in South America, where I went to 2 crypto conferences looking for a new job, and I realized people would pay me to write for them. And I realized this initially when I quit my job. They asked me to write for them and fired their marketing agency. But when I brought that up to other projects at these 2 conferences, just talking to people, they were all interested in me writing for them as well. So I kind of accidentally got my first few clients and realized I could make US dollar, I could live in South America, I could work my own schedule. So yeah, the last just over 2 years I've been doing this. It's allowed me to travel, make pretty good money. And now I'm at this interesting point where I have this lifestyle, but like it feels like work again, but I have multiple bosses. And I'm always analytical and in my head, and it's not very fun being on your computer all day. And I mean, this is, of course, a privileged problem to have, but essentially my best self is doing something where I'm helping others and it's more meaningful. So I'm now pivoting out of crypto writing to go into personal brand, where I talk about the problems I've overcome and think through, how can I have an impact on people? And that began with talking about how to make money online a few weeks ago. Now I'm starting to do in-person interviews with people, and I realize people like watching me talk to strangers, like how I become friends with successful guys, how I talk to cute girls, and that's starting to get me attention. So I'm kind of just like, at this point, it's kind of interesting life. Now I'm in Bali, I'm going to Europe soon, and yeah, I figured out a lot of problems in my life. It's been stressful, lots of ups and downs, but now I'm just thinking through how can I start sharing my voice authentically online, and how can I help people the most?
I love that. How can you help people the most? You also mentioned impact. How can you have impact on the people? That's amazing what you're doing. I love it. But I've got some questions, you see. I'm curious about some stuff. So what made you realize your 9 to 5 wasn't meant for you?
Yeah, I mean, listening to the way I talked, I think when you start to notice the things that you say repeatedly, you notice what your intuition's telling you. I was always talking about how I'm going to break free. This isn't for me. I should be doing something else. I was watching YouTube videos of travel. So it wasn't this one moment sort of thing, but it was this gradual build up where it's like, why am I in a suit every day in the dark and cold when I could live elsewhere and do something else? But paralyzed by that fear and uncertainty of what can I actually do? How do I get started? I think this is a lot of stuff that actually is an issue that many people have. People want my life now where I'm a crypto writer, but they might not know crypto or they might not be writers. Where do you actually start? And it's very confusing because there's so much information. On the one hand, the answer to everything we want is free and it's out there on YouTube or anywhere. On the other hand, it's very confusing and overwhelming. So I kind of figured it out by accident. I put in the work. I realized crypto was going to be big. I did that work myself to realize that. I showed up at conferences to get clients. I took risk and I actually took action, but at the same time, it kind of just came to me at the same time. So
Amazing. So after quitting your job, what was your first step?
my first step, the first time I quit it, I moved to Spain for my master's, and the second time I quit, I moved to Colombia. So basically, both times I just quit my job and I just changed countries. So which is stressful, man.
I
Like that's
tell
what they
you.
don't talk about is like this stuff's stressful, like changing your entire life.
Hmm. Still on this curiosity stuff. Why did you choose Colombia?
I went in 2019 and I had an amazing time. Beautiful nature, cheap, warm, attractive people. I like Spanish. It's a good life.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's a good information to know about Colombia. Thank you for sharing that. So, how did you then get started in freelancing and crypto? You mentioned you're into crypto writing. I don't really know what that means, though.
Yeah, so basically, crypto is a very broad term to describe many things, but there are different blockchains which like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. And on many of these blockchains, you can build projects or applications that do different things. And there's many different categories of projects, like you might have heard of NFTs, but I was focused in a financial area called decentralized finance. And the thing is, these projects are very complex, and crypto is very complex. There's a lot to understand about it, and these projects can't really explain themselves properly. So on the one hand, there's developers that are building these projects and they're coding all day on the computer, but they're very technical and analytical and they can't talk to the average person. And on the other hand, there's like marketers or writers or whoever who don't understand what the developers are doing. So I came in as this middle party, taking what developers are doing and explaining it to the real world. And that was like articles, some papers, Twitter posts, stuff like that. And yeah, as I mentioned, when I quit my second job, when I was doing sales, they asked me to write for them. And then I just showed up and talked to people and realized they would pay me as well. And that's kind of how it started. And I think people can definitely make money in this. I just think that like I got bored of it. And I think crypto writing, I think Twitter is better. I think there's a lot of competition on Twitter for writing, but if you can crack that, you can make a lot of money.
You got it. You got it. Okay, so still have some questions here. When did you realize that money wasn't enough?
Again, kind of listening to the intuition, saying, a year ago, texting a friend, I'm tired of crypto writing, I want to do something else. Or 6 months ago, journaling in my notebook that the best version of myself is helping people. So, and then I did yoga teacher training to become a yoga teacher in January, which is very outside of your head and very non-analytical. And I felt really good, like just being in my body, more connected spiritually. And it's very hard to go back to just keep writing for these projects I'm kind of tired of. And, I'm in my head all analytical all day. So at a certain point, 2 clients fired me because I just wasn't doing as good of a job. And I was actually happy when they fired me. And I took that again as a sign that it's almost time to go. So it's kind of scary right now, to be honest, because like it's almost like quitting my job as if someone was quitting their job to go travel or whatnot, because I'm now entering a new industry and I need to figure it out. But having that pressure is kind of what it takes to win as well. Can you hear me
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear you. Sorry. The network froze on my side. I got that. So,
No
hmm,
problem.
what's your message for people living on autopilot? Get it? Should I repeat the question? Are you still?
Yeah, I cut out. Yeah.
Should I repeat the question?
Yeah, I couldn't hear it.
Okay. I said, what's your message to people living on autopilot?
I think you got to snap out. Like, it's just easy and comfortable to live on autopilot. Um, but these problems don't go away. Like, you will always wish you did something else. You will always see people like me advancing rapidly. And now that I'm being public on Instagram, you'll see it every day. And you can block out the people making moves and say it's just not for you. But the reality is anybody can do this stuff. Some people are definitely at an advantage. I had a good education. I'm in English speaking, etc. But the reality is there's just so many ways to make it work nowadays. And to get out of like autopilot, I mean, be very cautious of the information you're putting into your mind. Who are you hanging out with? Do these people, are they all on autopilot and they just like to watch Netflix and drink and do drugs? Or can you make friends with people with a different mindset? Because I think if people were around me a lot, they'd think very differently, for example. As well, are you listening to podcasts about business? Or are you, watching Netflix all the night and just blurring out your mind? And I think as well, spirituality is very important. It's something that has changed my life. And that's essentially what you can think about it is realizing that you are not your mind. Your mind is separate from your consciousness, which is interpreted different ways by different religions or by spirituality. But essentially, when you start to observe your mind and your habits and how you think and your thoughts, you can change your thoughts to be more positive. and you can change yourself to think a different way because your brain is very malleable. Your brain can change. So if you start monitoring your thoughts, be very careful about the way you think and about your limiting beliefs, and you actually look deep, like where's this fear that you can't make money online, that you're not smart enough, that you're incapable, that whatever it is, that someone can't love you, that you can't have friends. All of this comes from somewhere, and the easy thing to do is just push it away, but it never goes away. The best is to actually observe it, notice how your body feels, explore where these thoughts initially came from, and release them. And when you do this, this is kind of like why entrepreneurs and other people, it forces you to level up when you start your own business and you have this pressure on you because you need to address all your shortcomings. You don't have an option. And that's why it's painful as well. But I mean, there's a lot to be said here, but that's what I'm doing right now. It's like, why can't I post on Instagram? Oh, because people might judge me and think I'm stupid. Oh, did people do that when I was 13 years old and I never let go of that? Is that true here? Do I really care what they think? Do I want the life they have? Do I believe in what I'm saying? Stuff like that is kind of like the level I'm at, and I'm moving past that. But there's a lot of levels and different challenges, and I think this is just some stuff I said about getting out of autopilot, but it's very important and life changing to not be in your routine and just not think about your life or where you're going.
Hmm, where you going? I got that, and thank you for explaining it that way. So, lastly, what does success mean to
Success for me is growing my personal brand on social media. That's posting authentic content that helps people. That's growing in followers. Oh, that's probably not the best metric or way to measure it. It's building meaningful connections. I need to start figuring out money as well. And I think being authentic, honestly, it feels like good just like posting my actual life and how I feel on Instagram, and like it's it's new, it's a challenge, but it's gonna work out.
beautiful, my man? Beautiful, got that. Okay, so to bring this to an end, Lachlan, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final? And to those folks who would like to reach out to you, learn more about everything we've discussed so far, or even ask questions, how can that?
Yeah, Instagram is Lachlan Alex Todd, so Lachlan Alex Todd. I'll be posting pretty good content there, guys. I think very helpful stuff. Also, if you listen to this, send me a message. Would love to chat. Just chat ideas, whatever. And also YouTube. I'm starting to build that up. Lachlan Alex Todd. So some good stuff there.
Be? So that's gonna be the end of the show, my man. Thank you so very much for coming, and thank you for sharing this beautiful stuff with us. It means a whole lot.